Did you know that plants get sick too? Just like us, they can catch diseases, and the results can be pretty devastating. Back in 1970, a fungal disease called southern leaf blight nearly wiped out cornfields, causing billions of dollars of yield losses. Even today, a different version of the same fungus threatens maize production worldwide. And we all love corn, right? It's on our plates, in our snacks, and even in our fuel. But as I mentioned, it still remains a problem, and chemicals like fungicides, they can help. But the most cost-effective and sustainable way of managing the disease is through the plant's own genetic resistance. That is by understanding what makes certain plants more naturally stronger. When a pathogen attacks a plant, it just doesn't sit there helplessly, but it's going to fight back by producing thousands of chemical compounds known as metabolites that acts like its own natural defense system. And so in my research, I study the biochemical basis of disease resistance using a technique known as metabolomics. I compare the resistant and the susceptible plants upon pathogen infection to see what chemicals light up. And what we have found is that the resistant plants produce certain chemicals in higher amounts compared to the susceptible ones. And now we are in the process of testing these chemicals in the lab to see if they can actually stop the fungal growth. If they do, it confirms that these are not just markers of resistance, but they're actually a part of the plant's natural defense system. We do have a good understanding about the genetics of these lines. We do know that these genes are responsible for resistance, but we want to connect the dots between the genes and the metabolites. Think of it as genes are the command center, and the metabolites are the soldiers carrying out the defense plan. So what we're asking is, are the genes responsible for resistance the same ones helping the plant produce these protective chemicals? If they are, we can pinpoint the exact regions in the corn's DNA sequence responsible for producing these protective chemicals. And the breeders, the plant scientists, they can use this information to make maize plants that produce these chemicals naturally and fight the fungus on its own without the use of chemicals. We don't need chemicals. They're expensive, right? They're harmful for the environment. So sometimes the best way to protect our food isn't by inventing something new, but to learn from nature how it protects itself. Thank you.